Dan'l, introduce yourself.
Dan'l Lewin. I'm with Microsoft. I run our strategic and emerging business activity here in Silicon Valley.
And you're Mr. Silicon Valley for Microsoft, correct?
That's part of my role.
Is that on your card?
No, I could put that though.
Maybe not. So we were talking about some really interesting things, what's happening and trending here in the Valley. What are you guys looking at? I mean, you guys don't do direct investments. You did Facebook and you bought Tell Me, but what are you all doing right now, sort of, especially in this economic environment?
Well, we do. We look at things all the time because we've got such a broad portfolio of activities.
Right.
I spend a lot of time with my team looking at startup activity, entrepreneurial activity. Where's the investment money going? How does that relate to our core businesses and our areas of interest?
Like search and Windows and...
Correct, yeah. So it can be in any functional area from search or Windows or what we're doing in security or what we've done in virtualization. Online activities, key indicator obviously these days. Most of our activity, our past performance, if you will, and where we've been active is a good indicator of where things are at the moment.
So in terms of what you're seeing now, how do you look at the current, with startups right now? There was this big boom of Web 2.0 and now a little bit of a downturn. How does it, when you look at the outlook, how do you see it?
Well, I guess the simple answer is that the things that were going to fail are probably going to fail sooner. And the ones that have probability... I
like your honesty, Dan'l.
Yeah, right. The ones that have probability for success, I think they'll get financing. I think there's a lot of money out there, and I think if there's any sort of semblance of a business model where people can drive a P&L, I think they'll get money. If they raised money before the little financial crisis in the fall, then they should be hunkering down, and that's what we see.
Right. Now, what big trends do you think are important now, looking, I know you don't look at outward, but you see a lot of stuff, you track a lot of things, you report up to Microsoft what's going on?
Well, yeah. I'm personally a big believer that presence and identity are sort of fundamental anchor points for interesting things that are going on in the market right now, whether it's for corporate infrastructure, for kind of unified communications activity, where are you and what do you want to have access to. I think obviously the stuff that's going on in and around the cloud and sort of building
big push by Microsoft,
big push by Microsoft and among others. But I think we've got a nice foray into that market area, and we've done a lot of interesting things with mesh. A lot of interesting things around video and streaming with Silverlight as well. So I'm enthusiastic about mobile devices, how they'll play into the cloud, things, services and location-based activities. Again, whether it's corporate or personal use, I think those things are going to be really important in the next 3 to 5 years.
Now, Microsoft doesn't make as many investments in those areas necessarily. It will buy something, or again, as I said, Facebook and Tell Me. Tell Me, invested in Facebook.
That's right. We're not, for the most part, not a direct investor. I don't think there are too many companies that do that well. Intel has an active program, as you know, but our experience has been it's better for us to be clear where we can be helpful to a young company, and when we can be clear about that and consistent with how we interoperate and act with them, then that helps the venture.
And that's part of your charge, being helpful. Like you did that with MySpace, help them clean up.
We did. We helped MySpace out a lot early on when they were having technical difficulties as scale took over and their business was taking off like crazy. And so they're a good, loyal customer now in terms of using Windows and SQL, et cetera. But we helped them a lot in the early days. So that's a good example for sure. Now,
what is the image of Microsoft in the Valley? Now, how's it changed? I mean, before it was sort of essentially a scary company from Seattle, or the Seattle area. Now things have changed, I would say, considerably.
Well, thanks for that. We've been working hard at predictable, consistent behavior with everyone in the industry. We've been driving.
Now everyone's scared of Google, as you know.
Yeah, they could be scared of Google. That's possible.
Yeah.
But I do think that. For the most part, just consistency over time, driving interoperability standards, doing the licensing deals and things that we've been working on to sort of normalize relationships in the industry. Consistency for the people who care about general interaction from a developer perspective. My team, my presence, and what we do here in the Valley is a proxy for being one person away from whoever you need to talk to for the most part. So to the extent people can find me, and it's pretty easy, we'll get you to the right places to give you a quick and pretty clean answer about whether or not we can help or not.
Interesting, a kind and gentle Microsoft. I'm not sure I believe that yet, but still.
Well, we're a real business, so we're working pretty hard at the real business.
Interesting. So among all the startups, last question you see, what is the one that you think is most interesting right now? Consumer or business?
Oh, my goodness. I'm not going to pick one out.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. I see a lot of interesting companies, and actually my team is much more deeply engaged with more of these companies. But There's I like the ones in mobile and communication space at the moment, and I think there are some interesting companies in that area.
In that area, do you Twitter, Daniel?
Do I? No, I don't. I don't Twitter.
You need to start Twitter.
Should I start to?
Well, apparently,
tweet?
According to Silicon Valley, it's going to kill Google. I don't know if you know that. Possibly Microsoft. You could lay wage.
Well, who would want to pay attention to what I had to say?
Thank you, Dan'l.
All right. Thanks, Carol.